KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. I'm joined by Theo. Dave Coldwell, how are you, mate?
All right, mate. How are you?
Yeah. Never know with CHSIORA at weigh-ins. Like, I always think when the Union Jack doesn't go over the mouth, it's like it's going to be tame.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no bad vibes at all for this one. It's just a professional job he's got to go and do, and that's it.
Well, I mean, talking to David Hay there, he said he'd spoken to Eddie Hearn today again.
Yeah.
We know the fight tomorrow is kind of the biggest thing at the moment. It's, but obviously David Hay's job as a kind of manager is to kind of possibly plan what's after that.
Manager and promoter, they have to plan in advance. One fight, two fight, three fights in advance. They have to plan in advance. The fighter and the coach have got to focus at the job in hand. So that means that myself and Derek have to be focused on Saturday night, and that's it. Let David and Eddie discuss it all and talk about what they're doing. Obviously, everyone's talking about if he wins on Saturday night, but it's got to win on Saturday night. You've got to understand, Gashi, just because we haven't heard of the name doesn't mean that these guys can't fight. And he's turned up, he's in shape, he was dressed like $1 million at press conference yesterday. He fancies it, you know. The Takam fight, you can't go on the Takam fight. He had 3 days' notice. 3 days' notice to come in and he put up a good fight. He gave Takam problems. Derek's coming off a bad loss. You know, at the end of the day, when you get knocked out like that, it's a bad loss. So he's coming off a bad loss. He's got a new coach, everything's new. He's uprooted and moved up north. So there's a lot of things to put into the mix for Saturday night. So he's got to be 100% focused on Saturday night and beating a fighter that's going to look at Derek as leapfrogging the pile into the bigger fights. Gashi beats CHSIORA on Saturday night. He's in big fights, and that's his motivation.
And I know you're as well focused, and there's always idiots like me kind of talking about what happens after Saturday, and it ain't really fair on you, but it's part of the job. It is part of the job. But are you open to that? Are you kind of thinking, you know, if that fight presents itself, let's have it?
Right. There's two ways of looking at it. Right. One, you've got to look at it and you say, right, let's fast forward to Sunday. CHSIORA's won. Did he win, and did he show improvements? Did he show that? I don't expect him to show loads of new things. I just expect him to do some basic shit that works in boxing and with his style. And if he does that, and if you go and look good, if you look good, right, are we willing to fight Anthony Joshua? Derek's already said, yeah, 100%, I'm up for that, because he'll fight anybody. David's already said, 100%, we want that fight.
So either way, you're outnumbered.
Yeah, but you've got to look at it this way, right? At 6 weeks' notice, I know a lot of fighters are saying, "Oh, it's not long enough to prepare." Derek's fit. He's only going to get fitter. He stays in camp anyway. So the time, ideally, you want the extended time. But do you then say, well, you still need another couple more wins, couple more fights to get yourself back in there? Why? He's 35, he's coming towards the end of the career, as we all know anyway. Why take the other fights to get yourself in that position if there's an opportunity to just leapfrog everything?
That opportunity probably won't come again, will it?
Exactly. You're looking at a guy who, you know, he's got beat by Dillian, he's been beat in the past, so there's a chance that he's not an unbeaten superstar that you think, oh, he's never going to get beat again. You've got to think, well, he might get beat. If he gets put in an eliminator against so-and-so, it's 50-50 fight. Why take the 50-50 fights if you could get the opportunity at this stage in your career to leapfrog everything and go straight to the top? That's what he's in the game for. He's in for the biggest fights, the best fights, and the biggest paydays. And he's only got a few more nights left, however that might be. So, yeah, you have to say, obviously, listen, if somebody's offering you an opportunity to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, especially when you're Derek CHSIORA and you love fighting and you're willing to fight absolutely anybody, then really it doesn't make sense to then, unless you're going to say, oh, Gashi, I beat Gashi and I retire. Then you say, okay, fair enough, you've walked away, that's it. I don't want to fight no more, that's it. Okay, done. if you're going to still box again, then why wouldn't you take the opportunity to fight for a heavyweight title? Why wouldn't you? That's dream world shit.
But job to do first tomorrow night,
Yeah,
and I know
job to
you're
do
one of these that it's happened to everyone before. You kind of people start talking about other fights and things don't go well or expected.
Listen, look at you all have to look at what happened with us recently. Is with Fowler, everything went well in training. There's no excuses from training. Everything went well in training, but on the night, some people talking not on the night, but before that fight, people talk, oh, Cheeseman this, Cheeseman that. Let's focus on Scott Fitzgerald.
And the same thing happens to Cheeseman, to be fair, as well.
There you go. When you start talking about fights in advance, don't worry about the shit you got in front of you, because on the night we got beat, and so you can't talk about them fights. Somebody else talks about that fight now. So Cheeseman, Fitzgerald's now talking about fighting Cheeseman, right? Not Fowler. Same thing can happen on Saturday night. Before the fight, managers, promoters, fans are talking about. Is it a possibility Chisora fighting Anthony Joshua? If Derek doesn't do the business on Saturday night, somebody else will be in that position. So we have to win on Saturday night, and then come Saturday night, Sunday morning, let's have a chat and let's see where things go then.
You're a good person to actually ask about this next topic.
Go on,
You're a trainer.
Some might say not.
When you're training a fighter, is it about you as much as the fighter?
No, listen. No.
No, I'm curious. Tunde is sticking up for trainers everywhere.
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying on that front, right? But the way I look at things, listen, Tunde works different to me, and his skill set and everything is completely different to mine. His attitude is different to mine. The way that I look at it is, I've worked with kids, I've worked with journeymen, I've worked with prospects, then I've worked with your higher level fighters that have ended up being world champions. If the fighters that you're working with can't absorb what you want them to do and can't do what you want them to do, then you don't have success, right? The fighters are fighters. They're the ones that go in that ring and do it. We can. It's like I said to you, in sparring, on pads, on bags, and everything like that. Fighters can look $1 million, and training camp's gone great, and trainers it's gone brilliant. It's like I will say now, Fowler, training camp's gone brilliant. Derek, training camp's been brilliant. The boxing side of things, as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with things. But on the night, you've also got somebody else in there that's trying to beat you, man. Your man has to go out there and do that, and it's down to the fighter. The fighter achieves everything, right? I'm trying to help my fighters bring out what's in them. It's in them. I'm trying to help bring it out there, and you show them things, but you've got to be able to gel with them to show them things that they can pick up. It's no good me training all my fighters the exact same way, because I've got different fighters that have got different mechanics. The structure is a different way, so I can't train them the same way all the way through. I don't train Derek the same as Fowler the same as Jordan the same as Jamie. You know, there's specific things that certain people can do that other people can't do. It's more about the fighters, because they're the ones that's going in sparring. I watch sparring sometimes, and I think, fucking hell, they're a different breed. They're so tough. We just look at the fights and we talk about the fights. Look at the shit they take in sparring. You know, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week in some fights, and you think how they keep doing that. It's a different mentality. It's a different breed to what coaches are, and we are important, obviously, because everybody needs to. You need to be able to teach your fighter, and your fighter needs to be able to. But it's ultimately, for me, it's the fighter.
But I mean, he's gone on the defensive with a lot of boxers that have obviously come out, and people in boxing come out, had their opinion.
Yeah.
Carl Frampton, Matthew Macklin, Darren Barker, and he's kind of gone on the assault on the defensive, I will say, because it was comments he's responding to. But I mean, what have you kind of made of that situation?
Listen, that is it's down to personalities. That is different to how I see it. I understand. He's very close to Anthony Yarde. He works with Anthony Yarde day in, day out, and he sees the talent. He sees what that kid's capable of. But I'm different, and the majority of us are probably, I would say, we're in the respect that back your man to the top, 100%. I get that. I get that.
But hasn't got the skill set of an Andre Ward.
But by backing your man, you don't have to disparage and discredit other people's achievements and what other people are. Andre Ward, so he's not talking about the most entertaining fight and most exciting fights. He's talking about skill set. Andre Ward's skill set is fantastic. He's a brilliant fighter.
But he's saying he hasn't got the skill set of Anthony Yarde.
But Anthony Yarde boxes in a different way. He's got a different set of tools, a different set of skills to Andre Ward. They're different fighters. Anthony Yarde, when he boxes, doesn't box like Ward. So they're different sets. You know, different types of skills. There's different skills for different styles of boxing. You know, a Harold Graham is a different skill set to Anthony Yarde. Are you telling me that Harold Graham's not got a skill set? It's different skill sets for different styles of fighters. But Andre Ward's skill set is right up there, and it's proven. It's proven at the top level. It's proven, and not only at the top level, for a number of years. For a number of years, right? So I think that's he shouldn't be coming out and saying, well, it's his opinion. That's how he sees it. But I think in them terms, you can still back up your man and say, my man's going to be this, my man's going to be that. He's fantastic. He's got all this ability. Rah rah. Yes, but you don't have to dig out Andre Ward just because Andre Ward. The way I understand it, it's just because Andre Ward thinks that he's in for a tough fight.
Yeah, I interviewed Andre Ward. That was actually my clip, and he said that he'll have to go through fire.
But I don't think that's disrespectful.
No, I don't think that was to be fair.
I rate Jordan Gill. Right? I work with Jordan Gill. I see. So I get what how Tunde feels about his fighters. When we work with fighters, we feel like we're family, so we can be very defensive about it, right? But I look at Jordan Gill, and I think he's got a phenomenal skill set, and I think he's brilliant. But that doesn't mean that I look at other fighters his way or whatever and say they're not on this level. Their skill set is blah blah, and I want to ridicule what they've achieved. Carl Frampton, Matthew Macklin, you cannot tell me that they've not been exciting through their careers, and over a number of fights. Over a number of years at the top level, right? They've been exciting fighters. So he's talking about exciting fighters in that respect. You can't say that. So again, I don't agree with what he's saying. It's his opinion. He's entitled to say that,
and you're entitled to
and
yours.
I'm entitled to mine. But the problem is if Andre Ward's saying that he's giving an opinion on a fight, this is where we're asked questions. I don't come to you and say, can I have an interview? You come to me, I want your opinion on certain things. So we're asked questions. Andre Ward will ask a question about the fight. What's your opinion on this fight? I think he's going to have to go through well. That's fine. That's his opinion, because if you look at what Coldwell's done through his career, it's hard, mate, and he can fight. So there's nothing wrong in saying that. He's not saying Anthony Yarde's got no chance of winning that fight. So I understand.
He actually said in that interview, Dave, that if he has got a chance in the fight.
Right.
He did say it's going to be hard, it's going to be whatever, but he has got a chance in the fight. So I don't know.
So I don't see there's anything wrong. It's all about how people. It's like when people on Twitter and say, "Bellew fighting David A." You get one man that's saying you've got a fuck all chance, you're going to get smashed, it's disgrace that you're even allowing your man to get in there. That's not like giving an opinion, a constructive opinion. But then you get another man saying, "Listen, mate, I think you're in with a tough fight. I can't see you winning that fight." There's nothing wrong with somebody giving that opinion, and when somebody gives you that opinion, I don't think it's right. And then you bite back in an aggressive sort of manner. I don't think you need to do that.
Well, listen, that fight is meant to be announced next week. We'll see what happens, but
it's a good fight at this stage of careers. It's a good fight. Yeah. I think Anthony Yarde's a talented fighter, very talented fighter. Yeah. The problem is because this is the other thing is. And I can associate this with Tunde, and I understand it with Tunde. He sees things in the gym with his man that you haven't seen yet because he's not done it yet in a fight. Same as me with my fighters. I'll go back to Jordan Gill again because I see him as a top prospect coming through. I see things with Jordan that you haven't seen yet. So when we're fighting Brian Doyle, people say, it's a 50-50 fight. I think your man's going to get beat. I understand that because you've not seen him do anything in a fight yet. So I get that. You can't get too defensive about things like that. And I think Tunde is the same thing where he sees things with Anthony Yarde that if Anthony Yarde goes out and does in the fight, he 100% believes that his man's going to win the fight. I get that. But to go out aggressively against the people because they've got a different opinion, I don't think there's any need, and I think he's gone about it the wrong way.
Okay. Who's your favourite boxer? They don't have to be fighting now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Probably. It's hard, I don't know.
Pick one.
Maybe. It's either Belly or Jordan.
Belly or Jordan.
That's not a bad choice. All right. I'll give you that one.
Any of them two.
It's a better choice than your football team, though, isn't it?
Oh.
Man United.
Ask him who he supports.
Who do you support?
A team that's still in Europe.
Ask him who he supports.
Who do you support?
Hold on a minute. What was the last game that was played between these two contestant sides?
Do you support Tottenham?
No.
I bet you wish you do.
No, I don't. Absolutely not. What? Everyone's getting all like hyped up over them being in the semi-final.
Come on, you Spurs.
What? All right, okay. Well, yeah, good luck for the rest of the season. I mean, your team, actually, because your dad doesn't post enough videos of you playing football, I don't think, do you? I think you need to post a few more, Dave.
Just a little bit more,
That's all right. If he's got it, flaunt it.
I could just keep posting videos of food and what I'm eating.
Yeah. Do it on the Boy Wonder. Thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.
Cheers, mate.
Top man.